What's up, guys? First and foremost, want to announce that it is booking season. What does that mean? It means this is the time of the year in which we book clients for the off season to go to their properties all over the country. Everywhere from pretty much we were in New Hampshire to Kansas to everywhere between last year. If you want to learn more about how to pull deer ultimately onto your property, pull them off the neighbor's property, keep those bucks from going nocturnal, what food plots to plant, when to plant, how to plant, step by step, all these things, where to put the trail cameras, tree stands, timber stand improvement, how to log a property properly, what needs to be in that logging contract, how to make sure you don't get screwed up, all these things, guys. If you want to get a book, get something booked, shoot me an email, whitetaillandmanagement@gmail.com. This is the time of year to do that, if we're not already booked up by the time you guys see this video. But let's get into it. How to kill a gun season buck, guys. This is, man, this is an interesting topic because here's the thing, like, everybody gun hunts, you know, so where do you have to hunt in order to ultimately kill these deer instead of the neighbors? That's one thing we got to keep in mind. We got to keep in mind how many people are in the woods and ultimately where these deer are going to get pushed to. One of the biggest tips that I'm going to give you right off the rip is when it comes to opening morning, be the guy who is in the stand first. I want you to be aggressive. I absolutely want you to be aggressive. I want you to be back in those best areas that you possibly can get with the gun. No matter the wind direction, because we got a boomstick that can reach out 100, 200, 300, 500 yards, you know, depending on what you're shooting. But get back into those core areas. A lot of times maybe people will surround them and things like that, and there's other ways to go about doing this. But personally, I can think about the property that I'm on right now and where I'm going to be opening day. I'm in the heart of it. And one thing I'm definitely going to tell people to do is get there early. I don't care if you got to get up at 2:30 in the morning ultimately to get out there. It's something you got to do, and if that means partying a little bit less, you know, depending on the state you're in, if you're the Michigan guys, PA guys, Wisconsin guys who party it up a little bit in deer camp before the gun opener, do what you got to do, guys, because at the end of the day, there's going to be those hungover guys or just the lazy guys who are going to be rolling into the woods late and be pushing deer around. Now, when you're in the core bedding area that these deer ultimately want to get to regardless, they might have to take a secondary route to get there, but at the end of the day, they want to end up there, and if you're going to be there waiting for him, it might take him a little bit longer. He might not show up till 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and in the back of your head, you're going to be saying, well, I didn't need to get up that early, when in reality, the fact that you did get in there early was a good thing, because that buck just had to take an alternative route, because at the end of the day, neighbors push these deer everywhere. So, like, worst case scenario, you don't have a ton of hunting pressure, okay? You don't have a ton of neighbors. It's not super normal, because everybody loves to gun hunt, but it's still not a bad decision to get back into those core areas, because at the end of the day, that buck is still going to be trying to get back into these core bedding areas or on the way back to the bedding area, maybe a transition area, something like that. So at the end of the day, guys, you got to focus on not only where the deer are going, but think about what's going to happen when that pressure hits. I mean, I can think of states like Wisconsin and the Northwoods. I mean, I know of places where there's 200 acres and you're going to have 10 guys in there. Everybody's going after 20 acres. So now at least if you're the first guy in there, the chances of you seeing a buck is a hell of a lot better and getting a shot at a buck, especially opening morning. So I'm asking you to sacrifice. I'm asking you to sacrifice one day, one morning, get up earlier than everybody else, even if it means taking a separate vehicle or figuring it out, guys. You got to get out there earlier than everybody else so that when those deer do get pushed around, they're still going to want to go back to those designated bedding areas, those core areas, but it might take them a little bit longer because they've been pushed around a little bit. As far as food sources go, guys, I'm not a huge fan of hunting destination food sources during gun season. This is one of the few times I want to go hunt kill plots, because these deer after opening morning are going to be pushed around obviously a lot, and the pressure is going to hit them. And at this point of the season, like, there could be some rutting still going on, but it's winding down and they're starting to wizen back up again and not be so focused on only does and maybe about their safety again. So here's the thing, are they ever making it to the destination food source? This is where you need to think about your current situation. Think, only one neighbor gun hunts. Okay, well, that situation, maybe we do go hunt the destination food source. But in most scenarios, the Wisconsins, the PAs, even the Missouris, I mean, really all gun hunting states, guys, the pressure is on, and the chances of that buck making it to that destination food source is very unlikely due to the pressure, the areas that he got pushed off in. So if he was going to do anything, At most, he's going to probably hit one of those smaller kill plots because he's going to feel a little bit safer. So I know guys like to sit on field edges and things like that because you got a gun, you got the boomstick. At the end of the day, you can reach out 200, 300, 400 yards, but you need to. You still need to focus on these small food plots. Maybe it's only a 40-yard food plot, which brings me to my next point, guys. So yeah, well, let's focus on these smaller food plots back in the timber due to the safety aspect of them. But ultimately, what I want you to do, if I had to give you one tip as far as how to kill a gun buck, guys, bow hunt. Bow hunt like you got a bow in your hands, but do it with a gun. Think of all the times you've gone out into the timber and that buck, you know, you're in the honey hole, but he's just out of range, just out of range, just out of range. Hunt with a bow hunter's mentality, okay? And you're probably going to be in a position to for sure shoot him within 100 yards of a gun. I know it seems goofy. A lot of times we want to sit back on the fringes, I think if there was ever a time to really bust in there during gun season, but get in there earlier than everybody else so that when those deer do try and get back in there, it might take them a little bit longer, but you're in the bow hunting, you're in the kill spot, and now maybe the route's a little bit different because of the pressure, and maybe he's 80, maybe he's 100, maybe he's 220, but ultimately you put yourself in that core area where you can shoot in all directions, no matter the wind direction. I'm not worried about that, guys, because by the time he nails you and he blows once and you put those crosshairs on him, it's game over for him anyway, guys. So at the end of the day, those are some of my best tips when it comes to gun hunting, no matter what state you're in. And these are the exact tips that I'm going to be following on the upcoming Missouri opener.